Georgianne and I worked together at Affinia, and I think I was the one that maybe introduced you to the ACC and said go.
Absolutely, 100%,
And,
10 years ago.
10 years ago. So here she is. Is that a thank you, or why did you do that?
Thank you.
So, congratulations. This is the ACC's 78th year. There is no other automotive industry group or 75 that has been supporting, the industry the way we do and share experiences like this. I am now part of the Automotive Sales Council, which is another group, but it's only been around since 1958. So again, back in 1991 was the 50th anniversary, and I've got something to share with you at the end of the presentation, which I'm sure we'll have some laughs over. But it's this council's always been very meaningful to me because it was really the first group that I started to make my way into the industry and network with other people that were doing the same things that I was doing, or maybe doing things I wasn't doing that I wanted to learn more about. And so I've got some really lifelong friendships still to this day. Some of them are retired. A couple of them, unfortunately, are resting in peace. And a couple others are still shaking and baking in the marketing world for various companies. So I applaud you for being here, and just stay active, share, get to know each other. And you can pick up the phone and call somebody and say, hey, are you doing this kind of work? I need some help. You work with a certain company that I could talk to that, would you mind giving me a contact number? I did that a lot. And, we don't all know everything, so take advantage of the skill sets and experience that you have in this room. So with that, I want to share with you something that I don't think I've ever shared before. This is when I graduated from Northwood in 1976. I'll just go ahead and say it. If you were not born. But when I graduated, I was hired by Walker Exhaust Company up in Racine, Wisconsin. They hired 17 Northwood graduates that year. 16 went into the sales force as territory reps, and I decided to go into the marketing department as a sales promotion coordinator. And one of the things that I was looking forward to do now that I was earning a paycheck was buying a car. So back then, getting a credit card and getting credit and getting loans was impossible. I mean, you really had to establish, some earnings before you could, get credit, right? I'll look at the old people here. I see two. You're not. So not as easy today, when you're getting a credit card in the mail every other day, right?
If you went to the sales thing, they'd give you a card.
That's right. So eventually, after 4 years of earning, I finally bought the car I was looking to buy, and I got my vet. And there's nothing like having a vet. And I want to show you the commercial that, and this is not super good quality because this is 1979 advertising. So here we go. Ready? Go.
Nowadays, some small foreign cars can cost a small fortune.
$7,000 for a small car?
But then there's Chevy Chevette, priced a whole lot less than some foreign cars.
What you need is a four-door Chevette. It's priced over $300 less than Toyota Paradox and over $1,000 less than VW Ram. Terrific! It's still with standard white striped tires, body side moldings, a radio, reclining front seats, and much, much more.
The 1980 Chevy Chevette. It hasn't forgotten what value is all about.
Woohoo! Like that. For $7,000. Wow. Well, fortunately, times have changed after 43 years, and I finally just leased something with some really good. By the way, back in 1980, I did upgrade and get the AM/FM cassette.
wasn't an 8-track?
8-track was before that. This was the new technology.
Sorry.
Technology sets. So I did, the good news is a lot has changed in 43 years to new technology. I mean, look at, you know, we're sitting in basically a cockpit. And I did just recently finally grow up and buy a grown-up car, a good car. And if I can show you, you really do get a ribbon on top of your car. It does come with it. So a lot has changed, thank God, in the transportation world. We are seeing so many wonderful advances in transportation. We're seeing the same things in the way we communicate. And again, I just put this in last night. My daughter is in Finland, and by way of, I'm sure you all know WhatsApp. She was in Finland behind a dog sled team. WhatsApping me. And I mean, who would have thunk that however many hundreds of, you know, thousands of miles away in Finland, up near the Arctic Circle, she wanted to take a vacation up to Finland so she could see the Northern Lights. And the Northern Lights were incredible. And she must have WhatsApped me, I don't know how many times while she was there this week. But we didn't have communications like that to be able to talk to one another, to share experiences. And so, again, a lot has changed in the communications world. So with that as kind of a setup, Georgianne asked me to come in as an experienced old guy and talk about the things over my 43 years in the marketing world of automotive aftermarket. Some of the things that, to me, I think made me a better marketer. And I honed some skills over these years and learned a lot. But I want to share with you some of the things, and these are things that, quite frankly, they haven't changed. And I, you know, over the years, did a better job of honing my skills and spending more time doing things. And these 10, what I will call marketing nuggets, woohoo, marketing nuggets. It's my David Letterman top 10. And so I want to share these with you. Honestly, you're doing a lot of these things already. So today, maybe you take a look at some of these and say, I've got to spend a little bit more time maybe thinking about that. So if I can get you to do that, if I can get you to just say, you know what, we need to do a better job with this, or we need to look into that, then I've done my job. So if you can take a couple nuggets away with you. And really, when I went to the ACC meeting, or any other meeting, I was always looking for those nuggets. What can I learn? What can I take away and put to use when I go back? So I hope you do that over the course of the 2 days. Maybe something from me, hopefully. So with that, let's go to number one. And I would like to have a little background music with this one. So bear with me. Tim, the audio man, I think, did help me out. Everybody see Bohemian Rhapsody? Okay. So, go Georgianne. Be a brand champion, okay? I've been fortunate enough to work for some of the biggest and best brands in our industry. All these brands up here, I've done branding for, working for the various manufacturers that had these brands. These are some pretty nice brands, some pretty big brands. But each time we developed a brand strategy for each one of these. We wanted to have a brand that we could make our own. We wanted it to be relevant. We wanted to give it a personality and, speak to the customer in something that's going to be unique and make us stand out. So I think it's very important as we think about the brands. We all represent various brands. You represent the Babcock's brand. You know, we represent our own marketing company brands. And the other thing here is you are a brand. We're all brands. We're all developing our own brand every day. We're trying to figure out a way to do something better, to be relevant, to stand out, and to give meaning behind what we do each and every day. So look at this both ways. Support your brands. The first ACC meeting that I went to, was in Hot Springs, Virginia. And I don't know, Jim, you might you might know, and Chris, you might know. Remember Al Joseph? Al Joseph. Al Joseph was a publisher of Hunter, right? Motor Service. Back then, they don't exist anymore because Babcock's is white. Well, in the United States, Canada, you got it. In the United States, Babcock's. But Al Joseph was a boxer, and he had like the biggest fist in the world, right? In the very first meeting, he came up and he did a, and the place echoed, and he says, one thing everybody needs to do here right now is look in the mirror and understand, are you supporting your brands? Brands are our livelihood, brands are the life, and whether that brand is a brand that's going to the marketplace down to this end user or that end user, are you supporting your brands?